Welcome to Magical Living Coaching. This is Maryann Candido, and we are on day 6 of our EFT for weight loss daily tapping with Maryann. And hopefully you've been able to do this on a regular basis with me, tapping every day. When we do something every day for, I don't know what the exact number of days it is, but it becomes a habit. And once we form habits, especially good habits, that helps us to start leading that path of a little more disciplined and a little more determination to achieve our goals, whatever they may be, whether they be weight loss or working on a new degree or whatever it is, by setting yourself up by doing a disciplined pattern for your better, for the good, for your self-improvement, you actually are instilling these new habits that help you to progress and move forward towards your goals. Well, today I feel great. I've been doing this for 6 days right now. So Tuesday is my weigh day. I'm going to weigh in on Tuesday morning. And I think what's really important is to not be so attached to that number on the scale and be more focused on how you feel. And I feel terrific. I feel good. I've been exercising pretty regularly. I have been tapping every day on my issues and on my food cravings. And what I'm finding is I'm making more conscious choices. So I'm not going through my kitchen unconsciously anymore. I'm not needing a whole bunch of willpower to not overeat or to eat bad food choices or to snack at night every night like I was doing. So what's really nice, it just seems to have been a reprogramming, if you will, of my patterns, my eating patterns. And that's what we want to do, is basically delete the old programs, the ones that are not helping us in our weight loss efforts and our healthy and fit lifestyle, and reinstill new ones, new patterns. And by doing EFT, emotional freedom technique, I've been able to now go through my daily life without having to call in the willpower gods, if you will, to help me through my day. And I haven't needed to count any calories, and I haven't needed it to weigh anything. And if you remember from day 1, that was one of my prerequisites, is I didn't want to count calories, I didn't want to weigh things, I didn't want to keep track of what I was eating. I pretty much wanted to just subconsciously make the best choices. And because I knew in the long run that would lead to a more healthier, fit me. And that's basically what I've been doing with only 6 days of using EFT to tap away the issues that came up. So today we're going to talk about carb overload. I love carbs, and I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people lose weight doing those low carb diets and high protein diets. Well, I'm a vegetarian, so those don't really appeal to me. Many of those include eating foods, like high meat foods and high fat foods, and I don't feel, to me, that that's a balanced approach for me. And especially being a vegetarian, I don't want to have protein overload either. I'm wanting more balance in my life. So with that, I still don't need to eat all the carbs that I do, and I'd like to lose that desire for the carb overload, because carbs turn to sugar, sugar turns to fat, and you know the whole story from there. My family has diabetes, and I don't want to develop diabetes. I don't believe that just because your family has it that you'll get it. I believe it's a lot about life choices and lifestyle, and I'm in the right direction. I eat healthy. I just want to eat less carbs and choose other alternatives like vegetables and snacking, or more vegetables, less carbs when I cook with. So like I told you before, I am Italian, and when I was growing up, we probably had pasta 3 or 4 times a week. So it's pretty ingrained in my programming that carbs are a food that we eat, and that symbolizes, I've been thinking about this one, that symbolizes family and love and all that. So we're going to start with tapping for the carbs, not eating so much carbs. And I already kind of have a feeling what's going to come up as far as my core issue surrounding that. And let's see where it takes me, and we'll see where it takes you. Okay? So, okay. So as far as the carbs, we're at a 10 because I'm getting a little hungry right now. I'm ready for lunch. So I'm, wanting carbs. Okay, so I can honestly say I'm at a 10. Okay, even though I am dying to have a heavy carb meal right now, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I eat carbs and I eat them too much, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I want to eat carbs all the time, I still deeply and completely accept myself. I eat too many carbs. I eat carb overload. I love pastas, breads, rices, potatoes. I love my carbs. There's nothing like fresh homemade baked bread. Oh, these carbs, they're driving me crazy. I want to eat a big hunk of bread. I want a big dish of pasta or lasagna. Okay. So when I think of if my carb overload is still at 10, it's about a 9. It didn't drop much there. So I'm gonna start integrating. We're gonna do another round with the carbs, and then we're gonna start dealing with some of the core issues. Okay. Even though I still have this craving for carbs, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this craving for carbs, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this craving for carbs, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Okay. This carb craving. I crave carbs all the time. I still have this carb craving. I still am craving carbs. Still want to have carbs right now. I still want to overload on carbs. I still have this craving for carbs. I still have this craving for bread and pastas and potatoes right now. Okay, so that's dropped. It's dropped considerably. I was from 10 down to 9, and I would say I'm about a 6. So we're going to keep going at this, and then I'm still going to work on a core issue afterwards, okay? Even though I still have a little bit of a carb craving, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have a carb craving, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this little bit of a carb craving, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Still have this little bit of a carb craving. This carb craving. I still want to eat carbs. I still want to overload on carbs. I'm really hungry and I just want carbs. I still need carbs to satisfy my hunger. I still want carbs to satisfy my hunger. Carbs make me feel really good and secure and safe. Okay. So I'm reevaluating the carbs. It's probably down to a 3 right now. And I'm going to start opening myself up to allowing what comes to me to say that may not be all about the carbs. Okay, so we're still going to do the setup phrase, accepting myself for still having a carb craving. Even though I still have a little bit of a carb craving, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have a little bit of a carb craving, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have a little bit of a carb craving, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Still have this little bit of carb craving. Carbs make me feel so good. Carbs make me think of family. We ate pasta a lot when I was a child. We always had big family dinners. I really miss that. I really miss my family. Carbs remind me of my family. Carbs remind me of the traditional family values and home and love and laughter. Okay, so let me reevaluate my carb craving right now. And I would say I'm good. I'm down to 0. But I do want to address the core issue that had just come up. So I do want to do a round of tapping for the family issue. My family lives on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. I've been out on the West Coast since 1996. So, you know, my family is very, very interactive with each other. They work together. They are together numerous times during the week in the evenings. It's a very close family. So I basically have no family out here other than my partner and my son on the West Coast and friends that, you know, are very dear to me. So I guess, you know, what's happening in my life is that reminds me, carbs remind me of family. It reminds me of big family, big get-togethers, love, laughter, good times, and just that warm, cozy feeling, contentment. I'd say even security. So let's tap on some of that missing the family, that this could be part of the issue. Even though I eat carbs to substitute for me not seeing my family, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I eat carbs because it represents that security, that love, that family dynamic that I miss so much, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I eat carbs as a substitute for having that big family, the gatherings, the love, the security, the fun times, the laughters, the closeness with a big family, I still deeply and completely accept myself. This carbs, I miss my family. Using these carbs as a substitute for my family. I miss the family gatherings. I really miss the big family gatherings, the laughter, the fun times. I use carbs to substitute for that contentment, security, that safety, the family. I use carbs to substitute for my family. I really miss them. I miss my family, and I substitute it with food, with carbs. I'm really missing my family, and I eat carbs to remind me of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the turnaround phrases for this, okay? I feel I really need more affirmations to add to this to just instill that it's okay, and we can release that as a substitute for family. It's time to release eating carbs on overload. I can release eating carbs to substitute for my family. I can visit them anytime. I can pick up the phone and call them as much as I want. With the new technology like Skype and conference calls, I can still have my family close. I don't have to substitute carbs. I can choose to eat healthier foods, more fresh vegetables, and I can choose to pick up the phone more to call my family. I can visit them anytime, and it's easy to do. I can visit my family as much as I want. Okay, so now that I look at that and I start thinking of where I was about missing my family, it feels better. And I'd say I'm pretty close to a 0 about using carbs to substitute missing my family. And, you know, it was just reaffirming that energetically on my acupressure points that I can see them anytime. I can go back and have that laughter and fun. And I was just there over Easter and had a great time. And I was there about a week and I was ready to come home. To my life here. So it's definitely, yeah, I'm seeing the correlation, and it has definitely released a huge, huge issue for me. So anyway, I feel great. How about you? Okay, so what are we going to talk about tomorrow? What should we tap on? I would say what I would like to see for me is the more increased exercise. Exercise, I do it not because I always enjoy it, and I really would like to enjoy it more. I really would like to not feel like it's a drudgery and I have to do it. I really want to look forward to doing it. So maybe I can reprogram some of those things about exercise and physical fitness that makes it not fun for me, or that makes it like something I dread. I don't want to dread it. I want to look forward to it. So let's do some reprogramming on that tomorrow. Go ahead and take some notes in your journal and see what you come up with and what are your thoughts and feelings surrounding exercise. Thank you very much, Magical Journeys, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.